of resolutions to do everything from eating right to exercising more to finding more time to meditate or socialize. So here with tips on perfecting that balance between home and work, please welcome from Infinitely Well therapist Nichelle Anderson. It's good to meet you. Thanks so much for coming in. First of all, just to make sure we know what we're talking about, work-life balance means what? What does it encompass?
Yeah, great question, right? It's going to be different for everyone. And that's the thing that's key, is that we've got to get to know ourselves first in order to know what it really means for us.
Because it could be something very different for you than for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think as an infinitely well person, it encompasses everything that's about my life. It's where I come and where I go. It's who I communicate with, who I associate with. It's what I put in my body, on my body, around my body. It's all of those things that I need, how I move best. It's encompassing that and putting balance into all of those aspects, including work.
So where do you start? If you can tell you're out of balance, you're not happy, you're tired, whatever it is that you're exhibiting as a symptom, how do you begin to take inventory and figure out what needs to change?
Yeah. It starts with intentions, really getting clear on what your intentions are about what you want your life to look like, how you want to design that, what's important to you. So when you recognize that you're off balance in any of those areas, you really just gently with yourself adjust and continuously readjust until you find that balance. It's one of those things where you can wobble and find your way to way too extremes, like gym 5 days a week, when it's not really realistic to keep up with that. So you find that balance until it's right for you.
And it's okay if you zig and zag while you're finding it. There's also the question of sometimes you think you're supposed to do something that you don't necessarily want to do. Your career takes up too much time. You'd really like to spend more time with your kids. You'd like to go back to school, whatever. So part of this is being honest with yourself, right? About how you actually feel, what you actually value.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Being really clear with yourself, being realistic and honest with yourself about what's possible in your life, and taking more ownership and responsibility for yourself, remembering that you're really the only individual that's been there with you since day one.
And who knows how you really feel.
And you're the only one that's going to be there through the end. So you're responsible for your own body and your livelihood and your happiness. So when we take responsibility and control over those things, then we design the life that feels more in balance with what's possible for us.
And that's a powerful thought. You know, it's a powerful thought. So here are some of your tips, and I'd like you to expand on them if you would. Your first is to set clear intentions for work-life balance. So what does that look like? What do I do?
That looks like me looking at my life and saying, okay, who's involved? Who am I responsible for helping and taking care of? What are the things and activities that I like in my life? Can I surround myself with those more often? And getting really clear on what my vision of holistic health and life well-being is. So setting some daydreaming, spending some time like imagining what life looks like when your job is not overstepping your life balance.
So sort that out for yourself first.
Sort that out.
You say schedule time for self-care and home care. Tell me more about this.
Right. So often we fill our calendars with, every meeting and every event that we need to be at, but we forget to schedule time for taking care of ourselves. So taking care of ourselves is so much more than just brushing our teeth and washing our face and maybe exercising, but actually scheduling time to meditate, scheduling time to exfoliate, to detox, to seasonally do things that you might not do weekly, to weekly do things that you might not do daily, and to actually have that on your calendar and to keep that appointment with yourself.
With yourself. And you mentioned home care, so what does that mean?
Same kind of thing, right?
How do I keep my space, the way I want it?
Yes, how do you keep your space in a way that allows you to function optimally?
I think that's why I'm getting such a kick out of organization lately. I'm like, whoa, why didn't I do this sooner? Planned downtime, and how does that differ from what we just talked about?
That means self-care time isn't about like, oh, I have nothing to do now, so I'll just do nothing. Downtime means I don't have anything on my calendar, not even self-care time. We'll just see what happens. Allowing time to just be free, giving yourself some space, even if it's 15 minutes.
I like number 3. Okay, number 4, exercise boundaries. Harder said than done, but tell us why that's important.
Yeah, yeah. Well, again, if you don't know who you are and what you need, then you won't know what to say no to. And you'll say yes to things that don't really feel quite right for you and allow you to sway your balance again. And we're such habitual beings that we tend to go back to what we've done in the past and what we, have done years ago.
But you can say no or say yes to something new.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one, because I do think I am rote sometimes in my decision making, and I shouldn't be. You say plan ahead, prep, and batch.
Yeah. Again, like if you know what you need, then you'll begin to buy things in bulk, and you'll begin to prep out what I call real fast food and chop up those things so that you have snacks already made for the week. And you're not wasting time daily.
Yeah.
So you're prepping and planning ahead because you know what you'll need.
And we think we don't have time to do that, but actually that saves time. Once you get
so
going,
much
just go get a
time.
bunch of Tupperware and have at it. Number 6, make and keep connections.
Right. So when we're connected with those who are doing similar things or have similar interests to us, we're more likely to stay involved with it.
Yeah.
We're so much more likely to be interested in it and to continue it, letting it be part of our routine.
Find your peeps.
Find
and
your
then number
peeps.
7, I like this one too, play and have fun. Don't forget about that part of life.
Yeah. We spend so much time working and working on getting better and working on balancing.
Working on doing good and
how about
working
just
on this
play
and that.
some and have fun. Yeah.
So that part is something that maybe we learn sometimes just by watching what kids do, because they have such a freedom to use their imagination or be silly, or it's creative and fun time. It's not nothing. It's important what they're creating during that playtime. Thank you so much for these good reminders. I feel like even if you think you know these things, the reminders, the refreshing of that is super important.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.